It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I am Iron Man.
I'm Pickle Rick!
I have a dream.
I am your father.
I'm Sean Spencer. This is my partner, Gus Silly Pants Jackson.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
God bless America.
Avengers!
Assemble.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life.
Welcome back to life, you beautiful human beings. Also, welcome back to life, me and myself and I. I have been dead not only to the world, not only in spirit, but it felt like physically for the last week and a half, battling the vid for the third time I've had COVID now. First couple times, not a problem. I've had it the first two times, I would say, 2 bad days out of that whole time. This time, went to the doctor because I was like, man, I'm feeling off, don't feel good, running a slight fever. Go to the doctor. They test me for COVID. It's negative. They assume it's a cold. They order a antibiotic. They said, all right, just take this antibiotic. You'll feel better in the morning. Get a call right as I walk into my door from the doctor. And they go, Mr. Courtwright, just want to let you know, bro, we read the wrong test. You got COVID. You should probably stay away from everybody. But there's nothing we can do for you. Dayquil, NyQuil, go to sleep. Also, the antibiotic you just bought is pointless. It won't do anything, so don't take it. Like, you can take it, but why don't you save that for a day where you actually need it? They're like, it's basically like penicillin that takes care of, sinus infections, stuff like that. It takes care of STDs and runny noses is what they gave me, okay? And they're like, it won't do anything for COVID. Go home and suffer. And if you feel really bad, go to a hospital. Thanks for your money, okay? But it was rough, okay? It was genuinely a week of 101 fevers, face down in a bed, no voice. This is the first time I've had a voice in almost two and a half weeks. And, I felt terrible for my wife having to just take care of me because we all know, everybody knows, it's a proven fact. It is proven. It is statistically proven in wherever they keep statistically proven things that men get more sick than women. It's there. You cannot deny it. And so I suffered and moaned and groaned, and I walked around the house. If you've ever seen Batman Dark Knight Rises, like Christian Bale when he walks around in a silky robe and slippers and a cane, I did that minus the cane and minus everything else besides the slippers and the robe. It was just me, a robe, a pair of Oregon Duck slippers. It's an Oregon Duck robe and Oregon Duck slippers. So it was me in my robe and slippers moaning and groaning around the house. I'm sweating from COVID. Like, there's just sweat all over my body at all times. I'm coughing on everything. I'm touching everything. Just enough so that she has to wipe everything down every time I walk out of the bedroom, which I know she just loved. And I suffered. But I'm finally alive. I'm finally well. I told our guest that was supposed to come on, I was like, hey, you probably don't want to come on. I just got off of COVID. And also, I have no voice. So I told them to, kind of stay away. And so we're doing another solo pod today, but we love a good solo pod. Before we get started, by the way, make sure you're following @that'sLifeWithJacob on Instagram, @that'sLifeWithJacob on Instagram. Hit that link in a bio. Go follow all my other social medias. Website is on the way, and everything on the link trees, finally, everything's up to date. I know the last week and a half, 2 weeks, we kind of paused on some content just because unless I learned sign language, I couldn't communicate with any of you. So, got a lot of awesome things coming, so make sure you're following us. But, yeah, dude, other than that, it's just been COVID. And then after I got off, after a week and a half, after almost 2 weeks, Finally started feeling better. Went back to the doctor and got some shots and finally feeling better. Still don't have my high registry, register of my voice. So, the falsettos are going to have to wait for a couple more weeks. But got a strong enough voice. To be doing that. But literally, when I tell you, besides going to a doctor and getting over COVID, I've done nothing since the last time we've talked. I've done nothing. Oh, no, I take that back. That's me I don't want to shake my headphones off. I got a haircut. First haircut I've had in almost 4 months. Mullet. Mullet's going strong back here. Curls are going strong. This is the first time in my life I've had a type of butter put in my hair. It's called I don't know if it was called cocoa butter or lemon butter or margarine butter. I don't know. Or I can't believe it's not butter, but they put something in my hair that said butter, and it's soft now, and it's super curly, and I have a mullet as well. So I did that. The second I got done, it was the second I felt better, I emerged from my cave of the bedroom where I've lived for a week and a half with real pants on for once, and I was like, I want to go get a haircut. So my wife found this really awesome spot in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I literally think it's called The Barber Shop. Awesome. Great people, great atmosphere. They do great work. So I went there. But before that, I go, hey, babe, find me a place to get my haircut, or Google places to get my haircut while I hop in the shower real quick. And so she goes, all right, I found a couple spots for you. I go, awesome. So we vetted them. She found the spot. Great. So she goes, I'll ride with you. All right, hop in the car. So she hops in the car. We're on our way. We pull up to this spot. It's called Barber Shop, not The Barber Shop. But I assumed we were just getting catfished by the pictures online, right? Completely different. The setup inside's completely different. The brand or the logo on the building doesn't look the same. I don't want to question my wife. I'm assuming that she's responsible enough to put an address into her phone, right? So I'm not vetting the situation. So I walk in, and I thought it was weird. It was called Barber Shop, and under it, it said, the everyday place for the everyday black man. Now, have nothing wrong with a black barber. I'm from Chicago. I had a black barber growing up. The guy who cut my hair is a black barber, right? Has nothing to do with that. Here's the difference, right? This was specifically for black gentlemen because it was called, under it, it said, the best fades and lineups money can buy. Awesome. I don't need a lineup. And the closest I get to a fade is what is right here, is what I got. Okay? Let's put it this way. When I walked in and the little bell rang, just to announce to everybody, hey, there's a weird white guy with curly hair coming in our building. Clearly, he's lost. But it announced, ding! So I opened the door, and genuinely, when I tell you, there's 10 brothers in there, they're all discussing, I can't make this up, Jordan versus LeBron. They're discussing shoes. They're discussing politics. It is what I grew up in Chicago, which is just the everyday black barber where you would just go on a Saturday and hang out. That's how I grew up. So I'll walk in, and it gets quiet. They all turn, and they're like, clearly this guy is lost, or he's here to do our taxes because there's no way he's here for a haircut. So I go, hey, is this the barber shop? And he said, this is a barber shop. Who are you looking for? So I tell him the guy's name that I have an appointment with, and it felt, okay, guys, so the guy who cut my hair at the other place was black, right? But when you go into an all-black establishment that's for black men, and they say, who are you looking for? And you say, I'm looking for Jamal. You feel it. Somehow I had to apologize for being racist. It just felt racist, right? Like I'm going into a black barbershop and I'm like, yo, are there any Jamals here? All right, see you guys. I'm not getting this, wrong haircut place. It felt it felt leaving that place. It felt like I committed a hate crime, not out of bad will. It just felt like it because you walk in and they go, "Who are you looking for?" I go, "Jamal," and they go, "Well, like we have a Jamal here, of course, but like, they go, they go, they go, we have a Jamal here, of course, but like, what time's your appointment?" I go, "My appointment's at 1:45." And I said, "This is the address." And they're like, "Brother, you're in the wrong spot." And I go, "Oh, I appreciate it. I thank you so much for having me. This is very awkward for me. I great lineup, dude." And then I just walked out. Okay. I sped walked out of that building. So it felt like I committed a hate crime. So I just want to apologize to the black community. Listen, I love you all dearly. Like, listen, half my friends, half the people in my life are black. Okay, I am a part of that culture. I've already deemed myself a part of that culture. My boy Gary will attest. I am 45 to I might be 50% black at this point, right? Like, I'm walking around Jordans and jerseys all day long. That's just me. Okay. But I apologize for the awkward encounter at the haircut place. But I'll recommend you to all my black friends. Anyways, so I go. Oh, dude. No, so I went and got my haircut. Feel great. I literally have done nothing else. I got my haircut, and then I've been watching the NFL Combine. So, as a Bears fan, clearly, have to represent because we have the number 1 overall pick. I was excited. I figured we were going to see Caleb Williams. Of course, I don't see Caleb Williams. So I was like, okay, we're going to take Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick, which I'm already not a big fan of. If you're a Chicago fan, you're probably not stoked about it either, right? Dude, while he's immensely talented, is running around Hollywood taking pictures of him in dresses and skirts all over the place. Which is just not, when you think Chicago, you think Michael Jordan, right? You think those tenacious, rough Bulls teams. You think of Blackhawks hockey, that, which is just violent and aggressive. You think of the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago White Sox, some of the most nostalgic baseball teams of all time. You don't think of Caleb Williams in a dress. Okay, so we're already not on completely 100% on board with this whole Caleb Williams thing. But he comes out, and I'm watching the NFL Combine, and he comes out last night, and he says, listen, or whatever it was, Friday night, so Friday. He says, listen, I'm not throwing in the Combine. I'm not participating in anything. Get over it. If I've already put enough on tape. Now, as a Chicago fan, we expected it, right? We expected that the guy we are clearly going to take at number 1 to be a total doucher. We expected him to not participate in the draft. We expected him to disappoint us at every turn. You want to know why? Because that's what being a Chicago fan is. Being a Chicago Bears fan my entire life, being a Chicago Cubs fan my entire life, a Bulls fan, okay? I'm not a Blackhawks fan, and here's why. I didn't watch hockey until I moved to Tennessee, and I've watched the Preds for 15 years at this point, so I'm a Preds fan. But other than that, being a Chicago fan in any sense of the word means you will suffer, you will be disappointed, and I don't know how to describe this feeling. Ladies, I don't know how to make this relate to you, but do you ever watch a show, Love is Blind, or not Love is Blind? What's one of those? Yeah, Love is Blind is one of them. The Bachelorette or The Bachelor. One of your love shows that you're highly invested in. You can't wait till the next episode. You physically get a connection with the girl or the guy on the show, and you truly, by the end of it, want to see great things for them, or you want to see this person suffer a demising, death or whatever. Like, you get emotionally attached to that kind of stuff and to those shows. What guys go through with sports is a million times worse that it's impossible to put into words. Okay? there's really no comparison from the male to female perspective on what true sports fans go through. And ladies, there are a ton of you true sports fans out there. But for some reason, men, we take everything so personally to heart. Everything damages us, angers us, or makes us the happiest we've ever been when it comes to the world of sports. When I heard Caleb Williams wasn't throwing and he wasn't participating in the NFL Combine, now let's zoom out here. Okay? We zoom out. You know what it means in relations to how my life works and how I exist? It means jack and all, right? Because a 22-year-old doesn't want to throw a leather ball on a green field to another guy who's going to catch the leather ball. That has no impact on my life whatsoever. None. It doesn't impact the fact that I didn't do the laundry. It doesn't impact the fact that I farted on my wife's leg in the middle of the night and I didn't tell her. And then in the morning, she said, my leg smells. And then I go, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't impact anything on my day-to-day life. Okay? For some reason, in my twisted brain, and in most men's and in most sport fanatics' twisted brains, it meant so much. And I was mad for 2 days, and I haven't spoken to my wife, and she's, can we talk? What's going on? And I'm like, you won't understand. Caleb Williams is wearing a dress and won't throw a football. And when you say that, then they get mad, right? Your spouse gets mad because they're like, you're mad over something stupid. Okay? But then you can just throw it back on them and be like, yeah, but you're mad because I didn't put the laundry from the washer to the dryer. So, but there really isn't genuinely a more angry version of me, a more happy version of me, a more, just whatever the emotion is. When it comes to sports, we feel it more. Just plain and simple. And being a Chicago fan, we have felt sadness. A lot of downs, not a lot of ups. Okay. The last up we've had, 2016 when the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. I cried. My dad cried. My brother cried. We sat on a couch and cried together. My grandpa had passed away. He never thought that the Cubs would ever win it again. He was a Cubs fan. Sweet moment, beautiful sports moment. Should be in a movie somewhere. 3 grown men crying because the Chicago Cubs won the World Series. Okay. That's the last up moment I have had as a sports fan outside of the Oregon Ducks. So watching the NFL Combine, as it's been rough. It's been a rough couple weeks for me. And being a Chicago fan is miserable. But staying in the world of sports, there was something that I did find highly amusing in the world of sports. Now, granted, we have some great things coming up. We have March Madness coming up. We have, that's about it because the NBA is complete and total trash right now. But the WNBA came out. This is a great story. The WNBA came out talking mad crap, right? Mad garbage. Somehow they got, I think it was MSNBC or CNN, one of the big news places, they got them to run a story that the WNBA is tripling their ticket sales. They're the highest viewed basketball that they've ever had in the history of the WNBA. They're making the most money they've ever made, just talking all of this hot garbage about how great they're doing, which statistically, if you look at it, they're not. But they're running the story on all these news ads and all these places saying that the world needs to know how great the WNBA is doing and we don't need you to watch. So instead of saying, hey, we'd love you to watch because great things are happening, they just yell at you and say, we don't need you to support the WNBA because we're doing just fine. I made the most money I've made in my entire WNBA career. Business is booming. We sold hundreds of tickets to our game. I made $105,000 last year. What did you do? And first off, no one's watching the Sparks versus the Blueberries. Or I don't even, whatever the hell their names are. I don't even know. But no one's watching the WNBA. That's first and foremost. Second off, they just came out and were claiming that everybody who doesn't watch the WNBA and doesn't support the WNBA is sexist, racist, bigoted, terrible people, right? Homophobic, you name it. That's what they were calling everybody that doesn't watch the WNBA. And if you statistically look at the numbers, they're doing about the same that they've done over the last 4 or 5 years. Here's the deal. Here's why no one will watch the WNBA. You want to know why? No one wants to watch a bunch of layups. Even better, no one wants to watch you miss the layups. Huh? Oh, you were 4 for 13 on layups? Sign me up. Is there a VIP section I can go to? Well, put my name down, carve it in gold. Bro, sick layup last night. Oh, what a free throw. Did you see Cheryl? She bombed that mid-range. The speed of the game and the athleticism is out of this world. It is incredible. They jumped 13 inches off the ground to get that rebound. You know what will fix the WNBA, though, is bringing Caitlin Clark to the WNBA because she will average 58 points a game. But the WNBA, listen, I'm not here to just crap on the WNBA. As a former volleyball coach of women's sports, I 100% support women's sports. I support women's basketball. I support women's volleyball. But the WNBA, and in the NBA in general too, right? They both completely suck. But the WNBA is such hot garbage that I have a new sport. That is basketball, by the way, that I want you all to watch. So, Caitlin Clark, we love you. I can't wait to get into the WNBA. I might watch some of your games. But for everybody else that's like, man, I hate the NBA. The WNBA is the hottest, most garbage league I've ever seen. What can I watch that involves basketball? Well, let's just watch. That is the most entertaining thing I have seen in the history of basketball. Sign me up. Put a bull in there. Make it wild, right? Let's just have people riding animals playing basketball, right? You can have people riding ostriches. I've seen that. People riding elephants. People riding bulls. Put them in there. Put a horse in there. Let it go crazy. Get a purebred donkey in there. Come on, son. That's way more entertaining than the WNBA. Hands down. See if I can find this. Bro, The Rock. So Dwayne The Rock Johnson, it's hard to see. Wonder. Oh yeah, it's all on this side. I can't remember. All on this side, I have Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Funko Pops, Dwayne The Rock Johnson memorabilia, wrestling gear. I have all of his workout clothes. I have his workout shoes. In my garage genuinely is painted the Iron Paradise with his bull logo. So when it comes to Dwayne The Rock Johnson, big fan. You know, I've enjoyed his movies, even though they're silly sometimes. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson, a personal favorite. But he's kind of fallen out of favor recently, not only with Hollywood, but with the general public. And so he's been on this big, rebranding tour where he came back to the WWE and said he was going to be the main event in WrestleMania. Everybody lost their minds because, he just shows up when he wants to. He doesn't actually care about the WWE fan base anymore. He doesn't care about leaving the WWE in a better place. He just shows up, is The Rock, yells some things, calls somebody a candy ass and kicks him in the stomach. And then he's like, I'll see you in 6 months. That's when I'll be back for the WWE again. But, so he's had some trouble in Hollywood. He's had a ton of movies flop. He's gone woke in the sense that when the Hawaii fires went down, right, when half of Hawaii burned down, he and Oprah had the audacity to come out and go, hey, do you know what you should do? Hey, I'm the people's champ. You know what you should do? You should come out here and you should pay for all of them to rebuild their homes. You should donate money. And it's like, Dwayne, you're worth $600 million. Why don't you donate some money to these poor people of Hawaii? He's like, I'm not going to do that. You want me to donate my money? I have to go shoot Fast and Furious 15. I'm not doing that. You want me to take time out of my precious schedule to go donate money and help rebuild schools and help rebuild hospitals and orphanages in Hawaii? How am I going to shoot a commercial for whatever product I attach myself to in the name of selling my soul? Right? Dwayne has become the sellout of Hollywood. And as a Dwayne The Rock Johnson enthusiast, I love him. I love him to death. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson has kind of lost his flair. His movies are all flopping. And then he said, well, I'm going to pivot and I'm going to become political. And we've talked about this on the pod a lot. If you go woke, I got a hiccup, excuse me. If you go woke, you go broke. Your image is tarnished. Because at this point, whether you're right, left, or middle, people are just tired of having agendas pushed on them, which I've said before. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson, it is quite amazing at how much he has sold his soul in the name of justice, so to speak, right? He stands for truth, justice, and the American way. He has sold his soul just to make, just enough to make sure that everybody knows that he's just political enough. He's just, empathetic enough with this side of the aisle. He's just caring of LGBTQ rights enough. He's just caring of the American soldiers enough. He just puts his name into everything and just, oh, no, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. Oh, he's trying to be the greatest woke person that's ever lived, where he's woke on all things. Right? He's the average everyday man for the Democrat. He's the average everyday man for the Republican, for the Libertarian, for the American. Dwayne Johnson is who the greatest American citizen should be. And you've been seeing, like I've said, you've seen a lot of his downfall through the WWE recently when he's come back, and he did not get the warm welcome and reception that he thought he was going to get by any stretch of the means with the WWE family. I mean, the audience has been booing him, and I know everybody's just like, dude, it's wrestling. They're putting on a show. There's genuine hate for Dwayne The Rock Johnson right now, not only in that, not only in the world, but specifically in that community, because he's using that as his rebranding tool to be like, no, remember, I'm just The Rock. I don't care about politics or being woke. I just care about having fun and being an action star. And so he posted a video the other day that just, it set me off. And I'm not going to play the full video because it annoys me. But this is Dwayne The Rock Johnson going ultra woke and it backfiring. You should read the comments. There was, at the time of the video, I think that I shared, there's like 4,400 comments, and typically Dwayne was not one that received a lot of hate, and his comments are just, he's getting destroyed. But I mean, listen to what he's trying to say here in these videos.
We're going to play a little game, and this is called What is Big Dwayne Energy and What's Not.
What is Big Dwayne Energy?
BDE, Big Dwayne Energy for sure, because figure skaters are badass, and their legs and their quads and their glutes, I'm making it sound really weird right now, but they're in total shape and they are badasses. Recycling, Big Dwayne
there
Energy
it is.
For sure, because
see, Big Dwayne Energy, as long as you recycle. It's like when they changed the Cookie Monster to the Veggie Monster.
Don't be a jabroni. You want to recycle. It's BDE. Ghosting your date, totally fucked up. Not BDE. Not that I know. No one ever ghosted me before. Well, one person did. Let's just say she doesn't exist. Turtlenecks, big time BDE.
Yeah, see, like, and it just goes on and on and on. And what he does is, this is where his brilliance lies, right? He does something funny, like, okay, he does figure skaters. That's a weird one to start out with, but he says big BDE, Big Dwayne Energy. Figure skaters they're in shape, they're amazing, they're talented, athletic. Perfect. He masks his real agenda with, he goes, oh, figure skaters. And then he goes, you should recycle. Recycling is needed, and we want to push the big Green New Deal. Then he goes, ghosting your date. Oh, that's not big Dwayne energy. That's bad. That's awful. But then later in the video, it's same thing. He's like, oh, you should make sure you get vaxxed, or you should make sure this. You should make sure that. This is what he does, is he knows how, and I showed that video, a small clip of it, just because I wanted to show what was going on, is Dwayne is a master at playing the both sides of the aisle, playing the political spectrum. He's a great politician. No doubt he would make a great politician or great president, because he knows how to turn on the charm and lean one way or the other. But in that video, it literally goes from figure skaters to make sure you recycle, and then turtlenecks are awesome, but also make sure you go out and vote. Where it's just one of those things where it's like, I think I'm on the I don't like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, borderline I kind of hate Dwayne The Rock Johnson train, and it's getting dangerously close to I hate Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And here's the deal. The fact that his own groups, I say groups of people probably is the best way to put it. His own roots, his WWE family, his Hollywood family, his political family. All these people are starting to turn on him, because at the end of the day, he's playing everybody. He's playing the game. He's trying to be this woke, amazing, beacon of light that everybody can turn to. He's trying to put his hat in the ring to see if he really could be president. And I think what we're seeing clearly is that people are not, let's put it this way. Dwayne The Rock Johnson right now, not BDE. You do not have big Dwayne energy. Okay? Yeah. All right. Well, this is going to be a short episode today, by the way. Just, my voice is slowly coming back. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up, but I wanted to make sure that there was content for you on this beautiful Monday. So we're going to finish with a video of the greatest national anthem of all time. Now, it's going viral right now. I don't know if you've seen it. I've watched it 5 times and can't stop laughing. This video, though, it does have a little bit of sadness to it, because at what point do the parents go, no? At what point do parents go, sweetie, but no? You tell your kids all the time, you can be whatever you want to be. Sometimes, just sometimes, that energy drink, I keep burping up freaking mimosa. It's disgusting. I'm sorry. But sometimes you look at your kids and you tell them, you can be whatever you want to be, minus these 4 things, right? Minus these. If your kid says, I want to be a dictator, you go, but probably not, right? Minus that one thing, you can be whatever else you want. Okay? You want to be a shoebox, be a shoebox. Okay? You want to be a professional furry, be a professional furry. But you can't be a dictator. And this is one of those instances where this poor girl's parents never told her no. Nobody in her life has ever told her no. They've never looked at her and said, sweetie, we love the passion, but no. Sweetie, we think you're an amazing, you can draw, bro, you can draw and you can walk the dog like nobody's business, but you can't sing. Nobody ever told her this. And then they dolled her up, dressed her up. She looks like a miniature American flag, and they put her out there for the world to see. And now this poor little girl's getting just decimated on podcasts and TikToks across the country. And so we're going to be a part of it. We're going to be one of those podcasts that decimates this poor girl. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the kid because it's not her fault. It's the parents' fault. And those parents should go to jail forever. Parents that don't actually parent and don't tell their kids when they suck at something. My parents did. My dad has had conversations where he looks at me and goes, no, are you stupid? You suck at that. Okay, thank you. It's not like I didn't feel great on the inside, but at least I understood. At least I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You're right. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I see it now. You're right. I can't be the first black president. You want to know why? Because I was a 6-year-old little white boy. So you're right. I couldn't. Thank you, Dad, for talking sense into me. And I didn't walk around my whole life going like, one day I'm going to be the first black president. Someone go to this little girl and tell her she can't be that. She can't be a singer. Okay? You just can't. But let's roll the tape.
Stripes and bright stars.
Get it. My favorite's looking at all the NBA players trying not to laugh the whole time. Look at them. Look at Oh, get it. Big finish here. Big finish here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Hit that big final note. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Those videos, I love the best parts of like Saturday Night Live, we all know is dead, minus when they bring on comedians that get excommunicated and then they have to eat their words and bring those comedians back because their ratings are so bad. But the best part about any of those sketch shows, about any fails in life, like when Fergie sang the national anthem and Steph Curry and LeBron James are biting their bottom lips trying not to laugh at them on national television. That is the best part of that video, is just watching all of those basketball players try not to just die laughing. But there you go. Worst national anthem in the history of the world. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, stop being woke and stop being a total doucher. Caleb Williams, you're going to ruin the Chicago Bears. Donkey basketball is better than the WNBA. I don't have COVID. That about sums up this entire episode. A lot of big things coming. Like I said, just wanted to give you a little short pod today. Say hi, say what's up, get some pent-up energy, some big Dwayne energy, as they would like to call it. If get that out of me and say hi to you. And got some great guests on the way. So see you next week.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say.